I don't need breakfast. I'm not hungry. I've seen my blood sugar go way up in the morning. That's natural, what happens to me.
From not eating?
Not eating, lots of blood sugar. It comes from my liver. It's
okay.
making it. That's what a lot of people feel. If you're not hungry at breakfast, I would say don't bother eating it.
Okay.
I try to skip lunch if I can. I'm not always able to because I'm stressed out and I'm a stress eater. But I try to skip lunch and then I'll eat a normal dinner.
Time-restricted eating. Cutting the window that you eat food down to about 6 to 8 hours a day. Yeah. Will guarantee you that you will, if you're metabolically flexible, you'll start making ketones about 8 hours after your last meal. And by 12 hours after your last meal, you're humming in ketones. But what's important, and this was a study of Italian cyclists, what's important is you want to go beyond just 12 hours eating and 12 hours not eating. You want to get to this sweet spot of about 16 hours of not eating. That's about an 8-hour eating window. Mm. And in Italian athletes, and you're a great athlete, so what they did is they took these guys and they put them on a training table for 3 months, and they all had to eat the exact same food. The one group ate in a 12-hour window. They ate breakfast at 8 o'clock, they had lunch at 1 o'clock, and they had to finish dinner at 8 o'clock. The other group, same food, their first meal was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That was break fast. Their second meal was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Their third meal, they had to finish by 8. So
the same calorie amount.
Same calorie amount.
Different schedule. Got it.
Okay.
When you look at the blue zones, when you look at areas where people are living a disproportionately long period of time, characteristics of each of those populations, some element of fasting and protein restriction on certain days of the week or at certain periods of time during the year, such as a religious fast, such as a daily or weekly, like one day where you're not eating protein or meats, perhaps a certain period of time each spring, summer, winter, and fall, where you might go 4 to 5 days eating a lower calorie diet or doing more of like a cleanse or a detox. Basically this idea that autophagy or cellular cleanup or fasting is woven into culture as part of the diet.
And so women and men both are capable of fasting, and women will hit the stress wall of fasting before men do on average. And I love getting to talk with someone who totally gets all the driving analogies. So the old expression of hitting the wall, we know where that comes from, right? Well, when you learn how to manage your biology and how to fast without being hungry, what it does is it moves the wall very far away. So I have more resilience and power and energy than I ever did before. That gives you time to build up speed. So you still can hit the wall. And I teach for women that the fasting wall, when you overfast, is about 4 to 6 weeks.
I started off with the 16-hour, which I don't really recommend doing. I recommend now starting off with like a 12-hour, just because that's a really great way to ease into the process so that you aren't shocking your system and you're able to more strategically plan out your meals so you can actually get enough of your nutrient needs during the fast or during the eating window rather. That's a big problem with women that I've seen, is that they don't get enough during their eating window, and that's what makes it unsustainable for them to continue on with intermittent fasting and why they get so hungry. Yeah, I did the 16-hour fast first, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I feel amazing. If I feel great with 16 hours, probably like I'll feel even better with 20 hours or like a 24-hour fast. So I tried all those and I made the mistakes that I now warn people against, where I didn't get enough food for my body system, because it's really hard, especially with protein, to get all those needs in during such a short window. And especially if you're fasting for a full day, you can't really make up your protein needs from that day with alternate day fasting, for example. So whenever you see like studies that are talking about intermittent fasting not being great for women, they're always talking about alternate day fasting or extended fasting. They're never talking about time restricted feeding. And if they are, it's when you're not getting enough food for your body.
And so periodic fasting has helped me keep my weight down.
Okay.
Combined with exercise.
So you do this every day. So your fasting goes every day.
Right. It's a struggle.
Is it a 16-8 split?
Yeah. So I try to do at least 16 up to 18 hours.
Do you do the 20 and 4
No,
split?
I can't go for a whole day without eating.
Well, it's 20 hours off, 4 hours on.
That might be what I do. Yeah,
Ish.
on a good day. I can't do the 3-day thing. So,
3 days of fasting?
yeah, that's real deep cleanse. And by that I mean at the cellular level, there's this process, autophagy. Have you heard of this? So autophagy is the word that means your cells are eating themselves. And what they do is they recycle protein as energy source. And that doesn't happen really deeply until after day 3 of not eating.
Only the shortened eating window guys, they had the same athletic performance, but they lost weight. The other guys didn't lose any weight. And one of these markers that I follow for longevity, insulin-like growth factor, IGF-1, plummeted in the shortened window athletes, didn't change a bit in the other ones. So it was just the timing. So in the book, it explains why that happened.
Wow.
Ketones were being produced for about 4 hours longer in the shortened window athlete. And what ketones actually do, and that's why it's called unlocking the keto code, is ketones are actually the key to making mitochondria protect themselves and to actually become inefficient at burning calories. And it's called uncoupling, inefficient. And that's how they lost weight. And it turns out that telling mitochondria to protect themselves, to make more of themselves, get some more guys to help out, and to actually waste calories is actually how ketones work. And it's 180 degrees opposed to how we used to think ketones made you lose weight.
And eventually you get to this point where you know it worked, but now you're not feeling as good. Since it used to work, you're going to do it even more. I call it the fasting trap. And it works with a vegan diet. It works with a keto diet. It works with anything that works at the right amount. You go past the Goldilocks zone.
Sure.
First sign, bad sleep. So the way you would know that your fasting wasn't working is you wake up in the morning, you feel like you're hungover, but you didn't drink anything the night before. And the second sign is monthly irregularity in your cycle, right? That's weird. It's normally predictable and now it's not. Well, okay, maybe you should actually eat a little bit more or more often. And the third thing, if you keep pushing yourself, and by the way, people who might, I don't know, drive race cars or be professional athletes or be hardcore entrepreneurs, like the type A people, we are the ones who are going to push harder, right? And then you say, oh, my hair's getting thin. And it's funny. So that's the 4 to 6 week, I'm fasting too much thing for women. But then for men, it's kind of similar, but it takes us usually 6 to 8 weeks. And for men, it's sleep quality goes away. And then, I'm waking up without a kickstand. That's weird. And then the third thing is my hair is thinning as well. And so what we're doing here is we're saying, don't overtrain. And as you know, if you exercise 3 hours a day every day, you start to not feel good. It's the same with fasting. So that's the big thing for women is it's okay to not fast the same way every day. And shorter fast when you're already having other stressors and longer fast when you're not.
Common sense.
And you know more than most people about the feeling of fear. Like you're in a car, it's going really fast, okay? And there's a part of you that says, I'm going to die. And then there's a part of you that says, I know I can put the brakes on half a second later or whatever it is you do. I mean, I've been on a track, but not like you. So, you know, there's that edge you play with.
Oh yeah, it's the name of the game.
Right. Well, we all have that edge around food. Right? And so, oh my God, I'm going to die. And you're like, actually, it takes me 90 days to starve to death, but you sure feel like you're going to die.
I have a lot of problems with the alternate day fasting. I know there's been some people who've seen success with it, but not only do you not get enough for your needs, but it's so not sustainable for life. Like, how do you plan out your life to be like, okay, on this day, I'm not going to fast, on that day I am, but it's John's birthday on that day. And I know we're going to be going out to eat. So am I just going to like have sparkling water? Like, it doesn't make sense logistically long-term. And I think that especially in the intermittent fasting space, it's so filled with these like highly overachieving people where they have the ability and the discipline to like schedule out their life to an alternate day fast protocol. 9 out of 10 people, probably more than that, can't do that or don't want to do that. And if we're only preaching those methods, then we're not going to actually help everyone else where they could get so many results with time restricted feeding.
This is to improve your health.
Yeah.
So if
Why
you
else would
have,
do it? Well, it could be for religious reasons, but I think you'd only want to do it for health reasons.
yeah.
It's not fun.
No, not at all.